Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Admitting it or not, one specific pre-draft goal should exist for Steelers GM Omar Khan. Pittsburgh Steelers general manager Omar Khan said so little in his media Q&A at the NFL League meetings in Florida on Monday that he made Mike Tomlin's comments on Sunday read like a State of the Union address. Take, for instance, what Khan had to say when he was asked about the prospect of acquiring a second-round pick to make up for the one he gave up in last month's trade to acquire DK Metcalf. "You guys have gotten to know me over the last couple years," Khan replied. "I think all options are on the table. Staying put, moving up, moving back. I'm open to anything if it makes sense for us." If Khan wanted to say even less while at the same time at least providing a more direct answer, he could have just said, yes. But why be transparent, right? I'm not really sure of the need for secrecy on this front. Obviously, Khan should make getting back into that second round a major priority. One obvious way to do that would be to dangle receiver George Pickens as a trade candidate, especially since Pickens is likely to want a contract extension this offseason. If they do extend him, that'll mean two wide receivers making in the neighborhood of $30 million per year on a roster where no long-term answer exists at quarterback. If they don't extend Pickens, expect a hold-in, a holdout and a roller coaster of a season from number 14. I've heard very little about the Steelers trying to trade Pickens, but I haven't exactly heard a ton about them working toward an extension with him either. So if Khan holds on to Pickens and reevaluates what to do with him in 2026, that means he has just 2 picks over the first 2 days, number 21 in the first round and number 19 in the third round, 83rd overall. The Steelers are building up collateral to get creative. They are projected to have 11 picks in 2026 based on the current compensatory formula. We were in a position this year where we kind of understood where our contracts were with our free agents and that a good possibility does exist for us to acquire comp picks. That's always been a part of the process this year, Khan acknowledged Monday. As of now, the Steelers' current draft needs are as follows. A top 3 capable defensive lineman to replace Larry Ogunjobi right now, who could also be groomed as a successor for Cameron Hayward and a long-term running partner with Keanu Benton. A potential starting running back to replace Najee Harris, if not for this year, then maybe for 2026. A cornerback capable of playing outside the numbers in case things don't work out with Darius Slay, or if Corey Trice fails to stay healthy again. Another defensive lineman. Yes, they are that thin there. A wide receiver capable of helping this year, or at least replacing Pickens and or fellow UFA to be Calvin Austin next year. And, oh yeah, maybe a quarterback if they don't want to wait on Aaron Rodgers any longer and if they don't want Mason Rudolph to be the starter. Khan reiterated Monday that the Steelers would like to go to training camp with at least 4 QBs. If the Steelers don't swing big for one over the first 83 picks, then a day 3 guy is likely going to be just a developmental, longer-term project. If the Steelers gamble and select perhaps Jackson Dart at number 21 or trade back to get him, then they are waiting even longer in a bumper crop year of defensive linemen to get a rookie who could be a heavy rotational player at that position this year, and for the next 4 thereafter. Those are a lot of important needs to address before getting to the third one at, as it stands right now, number 123 in the 4th round. So, absolutely, getting back into the second round strikes me as significantly important, whether Khan wants to directly admit it or not. Browns finally admit big swing-and-miss mistake trading for QB Deshaun Watson by Matthew Marksey posted on April 1, 2025 at 5:40 a.m. The Cleveland Browns yesterday officially acknowledged the colossal mistake they made during the Deshaun Watson trade, setting back the franchise. While they didn't issue a formal statement, they might as well have. Team owner Jimmy Haslam spoke candidly during the annual league meetings and made his point of view clear. "We took a big swing and miss with Deshaun," he said of the Browns' trade for Watson in 2022. As part of the trade for the former Pro Bowl quarterback, the Browns sent the Texans 3 first-round picks. Other compensation changed hands as well, but Watson was the greatest beneficiary. In order to sweeten the pot and coax Deshaun Watson into agreeing to a trade with the Browns, Haslam permitted a 5-year, $230 million contract that was fully guaranteed. To this day, it is the largest fully guaranteed contract in NFL history. And they have exceptionally little to show for it. Our latest videos, we thought we had the quarterback, we didn't. And we gave up a lot of draft picks to get him, so we've got to dig ourselves out of that hole. Haslam admitted of the irreparable damage the Browns inflicted upon themselves by trading for Watson. He called it an entire organization decision, but ultimately said it ends with himself and his wife, so hold us accountable. The Browns actually traded back from 12th to 25th to pick up a future first-round pick in 2017 with the Texans, using that 12th overall pick to draft Deshaun Watson. While in Houston, he made 3 Pro Bowls and was a promising up-and-comer. Then scandal hit, and his play declined, as did his health. Since the trade, Watson has left more than a little something for the Browns to desire. He owns a 9-10 record, first and foremost, with an 80.7 passer rating. He has missed at least 10 games in each of his 3 seasons here, and figures to do so again in 2025. The first time, it was because of an 11-game suspension. Since then, he has not been healthy. Last season, posting a 1-6 record, Deshaun Watson went 137-4-216 for 1,148 yards with 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. The Browns finished 3-14 overall, last in the AFC North. But Haslam puts the blame chiefly on the quarterback position, not HC Kevin Stefanski. Because of the guarantees in his contract, the Browns have been unable to relieve themselves of Watson. Via a restructure to create cap space, they have already paid him the vast majority of the balance owed him for 2025. They still owe him $46 million in 2026, however, in which season he boasts a cap hit of $81,681,678. Aaron Rodgers testing out Steelers fit with explosive throwing session. The saga between Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers will never end. The free agent quarterback is taking his time, and Steelers general manager Omar Khan and their head coach Mike Tomlin are not in a rush. They are comfortable waiting out this storm that Rodgers has conducted. The free agent has time to decide, and it continues to annoy the city he might represent. Tomlin spoke to the media recently at the NFL owners' meetings, where he spoke highly of Rodgers. While there is no deadline for the quarterback, Tomlin and the Steelers had a fantastic meeting with the future Hall of Famer. Brooke Pryor of ESPN covers the team and reported some interesting tidbits about Tomlin and what he had to say. Tomlin explained his relationship with Rodgers. It's been reported that he spent a day with us, and it was a really good day. Specifically, he and I obviously have known of each other for some time, and so it was really good to spend some time together. There were some interesting quotes by the Steelers' longtime coach regarding his ongoing relationship with Rodgers. It appears that things continue to heat up, but it is a slow burn with this relationship. The veteran quarterback is testing the waters about the possibility of this marriage. A new report just broke that exposes Rodgers' interest in joining Pittsburgh. He just spent time with DK Metcalf during a private throwing session. Rodgers' throwing session with Steelers DK Metcalf is next step. According to Mike Garafolo of NFL Network, Rodgers had a secret throwing session with the Steelers' newest weapon on offense. Metcalf was traded to Pittsburgh on March 13, which resulted in a massive contract extension directly after. The massive receiver has star power and would be one of Rodgers' top targets if he decides to officially sign with the Steelers. It is a process for Aaron Rodgers. My understanding is the latest step in the process was over the weekend at UCLA. He threw to DK Metcalf. They did have a throwing session. The two of them together. Rodgers going through that process and checking all the boxes. Read more: Steelers QB draft targets if Aaron Rodgers refuses to join the team. It might not be the end of the line regarding the team courting Rodgers, but this could be the next step in landing the gunslinger. People want things to get done promptly. Rodgers goes at his own pace, which has driven the people of Pittsburgh mad. They want an answer, and many have demanded the Steelers provide Rodgers with an ultimatum. The conclusion of this free agent frenzy appears like it could continue to drag on. Rodgers is taking his time. The Steelers would love to have him, as it would keep Tomlin's non-losing season streak alive. He is the only remaining capable quarterback on the open market to be a reliable starter. Pittsburgh might want an answer soon, but don't expect it to happen. Rodgers is approaching this like a monumental decision. He appears to have a checklist and continues to clear it at a snail's pace. He met with the team and toured their facility. His private throwing session with Metcalf seems like the next step to coming to a resolution. Steelers Nation wants this to end, but it might take longer. Only Rodgers knows the timeline. Are you a fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.